Hi, people. How are you? It's me again, Anita. ¿Qué pues? I hope that you're having a great evening. I know it's very late at night, but one of the reasons I did it like this is because I kind of feel insecure, maybe talking about this topic. Um, a lot of people have told me through the time. Uh, Welcome to whoever is watching through the time that asking me like where they can get drugs or coke or something like if because of being Colombia it will mean that I will know all this stuff or maybe trying to be offensive. Hey, Samayan, welcome. So this is why like I try to make this video as late as possible because I actually feel insecure talking about this topic, but as well is a topic that um, makes me feel offended when someone asks me um, like, hey, where I can get drugs or something, and I have even get like hateful messages on Facebook. Like it's crazy. I hope that you're having a good night. So, hey, long time, Sabrom, how are you? Welcome. So yeah, uh, like a lot of people know Colombia because of its bad reputation of being unsafe, the to be producers of drugs or whatever. But let me tell you that is not all the reality. People think that the biggest drug dealers are in Colombia or in Mexico, but you will be surprised when the other huge drug dealers belong to. Um, yeah, so hola S Wavy, welcome. So you know that cocaine is one of the drugs that welcome travel explore clear. Cocaine is one of the drugs that are known that Colombia produces, right? Uh, uh, but it everything didn't exactly started as it seems. Like Colombia doesn't have the biggest drug dealers that you will see in the world. Hola, Auntie One T. Yeah. So I made a little research on it. And then I found a lot of things. Yes, around America is the biggest drug pusher in the world. Yeah, I was like, I have seen other videos. Uh, I told you that um, all of these things that is happening with immigration and war and Venezuela and whatever are just a distraction uh, to cover up something in the world. From where, like for example, USA, uh, even China, they always punish and keep with this bad reputation to other countries about drugs. But I mean, you always hear, if you know that in US there is a huge opioid crisis, is because there must be super huge drug dealers in USA and in Europe and in other countries. Who is receiving these drugs? Who is receiving? It has to be biggest drug dealers, more bigger than the Chapo, more bigger than this Pablo Escobar was from the beginning. And like if we see the numbers, 70, I don't know how to say this number, but it's like 70,200 people died of drug overdose in 2017. Like it's more than what we have right now from coronavirus. It's more than that USA has right now from coronavirus or from the flu or from any other thing. So then I was researching how everything started, and it was surprising. I didn't know this. Uh, it started with Nixon, this Nixon president, he created the DEA on 1971 uh, to control the drug trafficking, but the war with the drugs started actually 10 years before that. Um, yeah, and this started when the CIA tried to plan the Bay of Pigs, which was like a plan to uh, dethrone Castro in Cuba. Long time no see, anti-gravity 74. Yes, anti-opioid is the biggest problem now. Yeah. So then what happened is that when they took all the Cubans that were in USA to plan the Bay of Pigs, it failed, and the Cubans that were outnumbered over there, they came back to USA, but they were the ones that started damaging the south of Florida with violence and with drug smuggling. Then again, the CIA started during the Cold War, not only introducing cocaine and drugs, they started to introduce the LSD. And because they were doing clandestine um, programs for MK ultra control, like mind control things. Um, and at the same time, uh, when the Vietnam War started, they made they made allies with Laos, like to become the biggest export on heroin. So when the war in Vietnam was finishing, a lot of the troops were dying more than the war. More than the war, they were dying of overdose. Yeah. So, um, so while they were trying to to deal with this mess that they created, uh, the CIA also started a war in Nicaragua, and without wanting it, unwittingly, they started to put a blind eye on the cocaine smuggling that was already starting in Florida, right? So that's when maybe you know this character. I believe he's still alive. His name was his nickname was Freeway Ricky. Freeway Ricky. He was like a black man that started making business with cocaine in, I think it was in LA. And then after he became big, then he brought it to Texas, and it becomes growing like that, right? Uh, and also, like I have seen that, I saw also a documentary. This was on the History Channel. It's called Americans War on Drugs. And then I saw a veteran agent. His name was Phil Jordan, and he was the director of the DEA, the one who controls that they stopped the drugs in El Paso, Texas. And then he complained that they were ordered all the time to get off from cases that the CIA was involved trafficking drugs. So he said that he felt very frustrated because in more than 3 or 4 occasions, they even catch some workers from the CIA smuggling drugs. And then after some time, they get a call saying that the charges were dismissed. So he felt very helpless and frustrated because he said that they were doing a job to stop the drug trafficking, and then comes the CIA to make these things. And then he said that they were not talking about few kilos; they were talking about a lot of um, tons of drugs. So, like, think about this. Colombia is a big producer, but there are other countries that are huge traffickers of drugs and producers. Uh, Like no one really knows, but a lot of opioids or drugs come also from China, who is very harsh on people that try to get them drugs to China, Afghanistan, Iran, Russia. So of course not just Colombia, and also in South America is becoming Argentina, Venezuela. Like there are a lot of countries. Yes, so that's drugs are always in demand due to people in control of government power. Yes, said Green. Like I mean, like there is a huge amount of money that I believe that USA is even taking, or and the rest of the governments. It's not just USA that is taking from the drug trafficking. Because how come you will have like fully words in other countries related to this topic and earning so much money out of it? You say USA associated with Manil. Yes, it did. They did. It's all about supply and demand. Guess who demanding so many drugs? Yeah, a lot of European and USA do demand. But I also believe, because of I have seen this about the CIA, that they were introducing themselves these drugs as well. I believe that they did it on purpose. Like they made people feel addicted to it. So in order to people spend a lot of money to get these drugs. See, there is a as I told you, this is why I feel sometimes insecure about it, because there are some idiots like this Trump chicken saying stupid comments like Colombian marching powder, you know? That yeah, chicken Trump, not just because not because Trump, because the guy who is writing this, the comment is an idiot. Thank you, Stevie Huey. No, I mean you could be kidding, but I will tell you. As a person, even as a friend, I'm very strict about this topic. If someone tells me that they consume drugs from time to time, in that moment I will look at you, still be nice, and I will be a total hypocrite. But in my mind, I will think that you have zero value as a person. Zero. The midnight group. This is a topic that I have always known, and as I say at the beginning of the video, uh, I'm not involved with drugs. I actually feel angry that a lot of people make me comments that involve me with drugs. Yes, you can make jokes. I'm not stopping you from that. I'm just telling you what is my personal view. And I don't care if you think I sound insane. Well, I'm glad that is thin. Well, and then no, babe, not you, but the people that ask you those questions. Oh yeah, a lot of people ask me, as crazy as the other day. The other day, no, this was like 1 year ago, because this a lot of time that I don't even go out party. So I went to a discotheque, a club, and then a guy touched my bag, and then he looked at me and he say, "Do you have drugs? Like, can you sell me some?" And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, I'm Colombian, but I don't sell drugs." Eh, hey, Tahalon, welcome. Hey, everyone, a shout out to Tahalon. He's my personal friend. He has been follower, and he's one of my followers that I don't consider him anymore a follower. He is my friend that we have met. He used to live in Houston. Now he is in Colombia, and he doesn't want to come back out of there. I miss you, my friend. Yeah. Uh, yeah. We became so much good friends that such a nice person that one day I called him because I dreamt about him that he died. Oh my God. I felt so sad, so sad. Like, and then in the dream, I was dreaming with his mom too, and she was so sad, and I was like, "Ugh," I could not stop crying. Yeah. Ah, yes. The whole, uh, it's unfortunate because TV shows like Narcos glamorize it, which is unfair to everyone from Colombia. Yeah, people glamorize this topic is something that the government and the people like. So it will continue. The war against drugs is failing and is set up to fail because it brings money even to the governments. And I'm sure that each government has their own agency working towards their favor to get more money and power. So that's why, like, when people talk about Venezuela, oh no, that USA will intervene in Venezuela against the state dictatorship or narco dictatorship of Maduro. Uh, I always say that is a lie because USA could intervene long time ago and they didn't. And then people say that, oh no, they want to intervene because of the oil. Remember, it's not going to be because of the oil. It will be because of the drug control. Remember that Venezuela has a bunch of oil, but it's not really that necessary. With the oil that is on the Middle East, it's more than enough to live for years. And even in Mexico, in Yucatan, it's more than enough to live for a lot of years. Why do you think that right now the oil is so cheap? Right now, to fill the gas is half the cost that it was before the pandemic. My time will be spent enjoying the country and the beauty and the people in your country brings. Not reminder people don't make the world go round. Hey, it is good to see you. Thanks, Larry. Same with you. Andre Harris. Hey, Andre, a shout out to him too. He's um, a viewer that I see him a lot over here. Thank you for your support, Andre. Yeah, and then yeah, me also. I'm watching something. I'm watching Pablo Escobar, El Patrón del Mal. Like this actor, like made the real characterization of Pablo. Uh, you're doing a wonderful job with your video and content. Please keep it up the good. Oh, thank you so much for everyone's support. Yeah, so we were talking that this wardrobes is set up to fail. Like even their countries are making their own people addicted in order to keep going and making more money. But believe the only fucked up, the only that get fucked. Who is it? Normal people like you and me. Normal people like you and me. They want to set everyone to fail. Yeah. They want to set everyone to fail, not just in Colombia that all the costs, like most of the people don't even have a job. Like there is like they do have a job, but it's not a formal job. It's very difficult to get a formal job in Colombia that be decently paid. It's like almost being good doesn't matter. It's like you have to use your intelligence to be bad or to be in what is trending in that moment to earn money, which is awful. Yeah, like, and then like also like in USA, people is falling victim of it too. All the normal people, it costs them every year $1 trillion in these fake war drugs. 1 trillion. So 1 trillion of whatever you pay in the taxes went to fight a war that is set up to fail because the CIA and you and other people keep consuming drugs and making more money out of it. And not just with that, they also made the recreational drugs. So they started to make, in some states, the marijuana to be legal to to be consumed as entertaining because I have seen lines in front of the store of where they sell marijuana to consume it. And there is people that say, oh, that they have a lot of stress, PTSD. I believe that, but why is not consumed mostly like CBD oil? Like if it were, why do you have to smoke it? It's not gonna be for something, oh, release the body. No, if that were the truth, then you will be drinking it in an oil, like they even do for some people that suffered from seizures, and not smoking like a stupid ass in a car, smoking marijuana, or in the apartments or whatever. You are falling idiot of that system. Oh no, Colombia right now with the drugs and it is getting out of control. Uh, it's getting out of control because the FARC say that they wanted to be out of like the guerrilla, that they wanted to be out of the business. And then the government were offering them money to each person that claimed to be in the FARC to get away from it. So these people went to the ceremony, say that they were giving their arms or whatever, and then they were even paid um, like a check every month or every 15 days. And then they come back to fight again, and then they again make the ceremony like they did it all the time, back and forward, back and forward. And not just happy with that, in Colombia, this war is taking a toll because a lot of those that were in this mobilization, that business started to be taken by Mexicans flying from their cartels of Sinaloa and whatever to Colombia to keep the control over those um drugs. And the worst part, one of like the worst part is like they're setting the Colombian citizen to be killed over this. And more good you are, more repercussion you have. Yes, all the guerrilla, FARC, ELN, and then like for example, you are over there in Colombia, and then right now two big things are happening too. uh, One of the big things that I feel really sad is that they come on little towns to take the control over them, and they take the kids, and you cannot do nothing about it. They will kill your parents, or right now they are doing it in a way like they take the place and then they make a party for the kids, and they make them sing. They start putting in their minds all this business and illegality and guerrilla in their minds, like if it's something positive. And the parents cannot deny, if they do, they get murdered. So imagine that someone take your kid away, a family that is loving you, to get with these monsters. I know it's crazy. And then another thing that is happening, and this is extremely disgusting and serious, is that any person in Colombia, what they have is like you have the mayor, you have the government, the mayor, the little community leaders, and these community leaders always try to find a way like the smallest leader are the ones that are the good ones. They always try to find a way to get an income in their own people that is decent, that doesn't depend on landing drugs or producing coke or nothing. And they even have harsh words against drug traffickers. And again, and they always look for the security of the community. You know what? In 1 year, they killed more of 300 social leaders. And I have seen countless of videos of they being murdered in their house. Like they go to your house, open whatever, open whatever, and they kill you in front of your family, in front of your kids. What is that telling you? As a person in Colombia, is telling you you cannot succeed as a good person. Yeah. And this was Larry. I even talk about it on the gun law video in Colombia. Yeah, but it's the good people want the change. It's the bad people that doesn't want the change, and it's unluckily the bad people that has more power anywhere. Yes, Larry, this creek running water. Thank you. Hey, big north side, the savior. Hey, welcome to local pendejo. Well, that is also a dichotomy to local pendejo. I don't want to kill you like to call you like that, but your name is like that. Um, the as I say, there is a watcher that is called Tajalon Springs. He will tell you that you can move. He's telling you can still move to Colombia. He will tell you that you can move because it's not as dangerous as you really think it is. At least not in the main cities. This is more like in the jungle. Like usually foreigners doesn't even have access to these areas. Hey, shout out to Freebeard for your donation. Thank you so much, Freebeard. And thank you to Travis McClemens for your donations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tajalon Springs, I will say that what she says is real, but they are very isolated events and it's a safe here. Yes, it is. Isn't it this more of a practice of strength up north? Probably. So the atmosphere has changed. This will probably get worse because of the coronavirus and the economy. Good pronunciation. Ah, thank you, Travis. Freebeer, how are you? Let us know how are you? What are you thinking? I don't know if it will get worse because of the coronavirus. I would think that it will actually give them more freedom to act because everyone is isolated. So kids cannot go out. Adults of 70 years old and older cannot go out. And the ones that can actually go out, then you have to, like, they allow it on certain times depending of the last number of your Colombian ID. Yes, Jimmy Gabel, you're right. In Colombia, in the biggest cities, this is not something that is seen over the biggest city. Like on the biggest city, what you could find is sometimes the same or way less than what it is in New York, that someone may try to steal your wallet or something, stuff like that. But about the guerrilla, no, it's not. They are not in the biggest city. No, this is more a thing of the countryside, but on the far, far countryside. Yes, Tajalon, you're right. It's bad in the more remote areas like Choco and Cauca. You're right. Estoy bien. Oh, thank you for that Spanish free beer. I'm hiding from the virus in a small town in northern Canada, doing well, not experiencing anything weird here. Was about to move to the coffee region of Colombia before the virus hit. Yeah, I also have several people that have been about to move to Colombia, but then the virus hit. I have another friend. Um, Maybe I will show you my friend in these days. He was following me for years on this channel, and then he happens to go to the place that I work, but I didn't know, he didn't know either. It was a pure coincidence. This off topic. Have you ever seen Pablo Escobar grave? No, papi, I haven't. I'm not um, condoning visits to anything related to him. He was a monster. Are people currently losing their jobs in Colombia due to the virus? Oh, yes, definitely. Like most of the income of people in Colombia are from informal business. So, what is informal business? Like selling stuff in the streets, food, shoes, whatever. If you go to Colombia, you will find that a lot of informal business are street sellers. Uh, so these people, of course, is without working. Also, uh, uh, plus besides the rest of the economy and the companies have stopped too. So yeah, it's like anywhere in the world. I'm rotating in Colombia. Good. Cartagena is my spot. I want to move to Rio Negro. Rio Negro is beautiful. The countryside, the Oriente Antioqueño, is very beautiful. It's becoming like the rich area. Any word of a time frame letting tourists back in? No, Jimmy Gabble, but I will tell you my personal view. As I say in my last video, I think that someone will come out with a magical cure or a magical vaccine around September. And even if they say that it takes 1.5 years out of this desperation, someone will say that they have it, people will start using it, and I will wait until using it because I feel scared that maybe that vaccine actually makes harm than help. My Spanish teacher, so I believe that maybe on that time people will be able to come in, but in Colombia already they told people that they are not using public transport until 2020 and that the schools are also canceled until 2020. My Spanish teacher lives in Medellin. She told me that poor people blocked the highway and loaded food trucks. Not sure were true. You are right. There is a lot of people that lives day by day. You can even find in Colombia little hostels or apartments that are rent day by day with families of mother, men, and kids. So if these people cannot go to work, they cannot eat. And when you feel hungry, that is a desperation that makes you do whatever it takes to feed yourself. Santa Marta is beautiful also, but I prefer the rolling hills of the coffee axis. Oh, you prefer La Zona Cafetera. There are big connections between Bill Gates, Fauci from the White House, and the Wuhan lab. Yeah, I heard that there is a thing with Bill Gates trying to take over the drug control. Here is an off topic but kinda relate. What are your views on Pablo Escobar's hippos still roaming free here? I think they should go. Mm, I definitely think that they should go, but I still feel bad for them. They don't have the predators, so they are considered a plague because it's not they don't belong to that type of ecosystem. So they reproduce without control, and then they are making damages and could be dangerous to people, right? Hey, shout out to K.1. Thank you for your donation. I like your cartoon. Oh my god, please no, lol. The hippos so far, their numbers are nearing 40 of them now in the oh my lord. Yeah, so they tried to kill some of them, but people felt offended because the way they were killed, like they were cut to pieces alive. So that like they don't even took the time to put them anesthesia and kill them like decently. How are you gonna skip my question, girl? What? Jimmy, as now of Duque, was suspended all international flights until May 30. Ah, well, that was your question? No, you were giving that information to your friend, to whoever say anytime, to Jimmy Gabble, any word of a time frame for letting tourists back in. Well, Tahalon say until May 30th. What are your thoughts about Trump? I don't know, to be honest. Sometimes I think he's crazy. Sometimes I think that maybe it's a logic for everything. But I prefer not to talk about him because I know it could bite me in the ass. So no comments. Yeah, but if given the opportunity, the hippos will kill you. Haha, deadliest animals on earth. Oh my. It's Huey Freeman. The hippos were born there, so there are citizens. Yeah, there are citizens. Yeah. My sister-in-law tells me that people in Cartagena are suffering really bad because of no tourism. Yeah, imagine Cartagena. Cartagena is almost all tourism. San Andres. Imagine that. No, a lot of things, and a lot of things in Colombia are made of the entertainment, street sellers and entertainment. Like, for real, when you go to Colombia, what you think about? Entertain yourself, whatever it is with something legal or illegal. Yes, and Andre Harris, Pablo brought them. All the clubs, all the restaurants, the tourism is closed. Like even the farmers are suffering. They say that all the plantations from the big ones are taken, but they don't take the small ones. The people from the small producers. Um, Beautiful and small woman. Ah, yeah. And also, like, like you go to a club, you think of women. Where are you going to take those women? To the club, to the restaurant? Ah, they are all closed. The government will give the people money like in USA. Yeah, they say that, but no one has received nothing. Like, not even they haven't even received packages of food, people that really needs it. Even in Bogota, they were doing a line with like, why they didn't make just an appointment to show up, get your food, and get out of there? No, they have to make a line. I don't know. I think it will take a lot of time to get to normal. And after this, it will become another one pandemic. That's what I think. McDonald Grassit. Espero que estés equivocado con la fecha. He say, I hope that you are wrong with the dates. Why? Pablo has nice a client place in Guatapé. The entire country is suffering just like the rest of the world. People can't work. They don't have money for basic needs. And the government really is not much to help. If this lockdown is extended again, I think there will be major problems. Yeah. Will the virus destroy the economy in Medellin? Hmm, that's a good question. I will say yes. No, I will say no. You know what? Because after this, like doing fast thinking, I think that no, because after this happened, the dollar already has a way higher cost in relation to the Colombian pesos. And what does that do in an economy? What it does is that when all this finish, as the prices are still low, it will bring the attention of foreign inversionists. So that means that a lot of people, even more people, will want to move, retire, and put a company in Colombia or in these countries where the dollar is way more expensive because they will have more goods in exchange for few dollars or euros. ¿Por qué necesito llegar? And where are you, McDonald Grasset? ¿Dónde estás? Have you heard anything about second stimulus check? Yeah, I have heard about it, but in USA. 4,000 to 1 yesterday. Imagine that free bill. Yeah. Grocery stores are still open over there, right? Yes, they do. McDonald's, si ya tú no estás aquí ahora mismo, no puedes llegar hasta el 30 de mayo. En Nueva York ahorita. Oh my God. Are you trying to leave New York? Where are you from originally? McDonald Grassit. In what situation are you right now in the lockdown of New York? Like, do you still have food or water or in the middle of the mess? And what are you working? Are you with your family? Even Colombians cannot enter the country right now. Yeah, no one cannot. A truck driver. No. No what? The corona is a out. It's the 5G that's making people sick. He's not with family. Oh, okay. Cross country. Not with the familia. Okay. But do you still have a place to stay or enough to eat? So you are being a truck driver. Do you have to go to another part of the country as well? Sí, señorita. I'm in Georgia. They're trying to open us back up this week, something. Mm-hmm. With the dollar being strong in Colombia, it's going to be a matter of time before they reopen borders. Do you know how Colombia salsa dance? Yeah, I know. But I have years without being able to actually dance it. You just came from Nebraska, they live in you. Well, patience, just be careful for now until you go out from it. Every Colombian knows how to salsa somewhat. You don't know. As guys from Medellin, not all of them, or they know a lot and know how to dance amazing, or they don't know nothing. Well, McDonald's just try to keep safe. Here also like they reopen some retail stores, but gracias. What? What are you laughing about? Cool. I heard that the Colombians are kicking the Venezuelans out now because of the quarantine. Yes, that's right. Not just kicking, they are living by themselves. They are living by themselves. So a lot of Venezuelans came and now they are living by themselves. Like it's already very difficult to live in the streets or whatever. And then you get this pandemic. What else you do? Come back. But then I was amazed how some of those ladies were like coming back with one kid and they came back with three. What? Or with two. Believe me, the initial Venezuelans that came to Colombia, they are good, but good, not good, excellent people. But it's then after all this shit started in Venezuela, like you know the caravans that were sent to USA, it was similar, same than Colombia, and then Colombia was taking care of them until the violence became worse, and a lot of people that came in there were actually very bad. That was another thing. If USA really wanted to stop the drug trafficking, why would USA offer just $15 million, which is not enough, to take away to Maduro? And why they don't actually attack? Because they are interested in this business to continue. They put their chips around Venezuela, but they don't actually come in. There is no an invasion, nothing. I'm laughing about when you say to every Colombian know how to dance salsa. No, it's simple. The CIA traffic and the DIA ensure the price stays high. Yeah, probably with knowing or not knowing. Yeah, and then I also feel bad that these agencies use good people as well, and make them think that they are doing a good job and put their lives on risk just to make the will of selfish people that is getting all the money and the power. To be honest, that's the part I never understood. I know that money is good, could help you get you a better life, could get you gain some happiness, sort of happiness. But If you are sick, you have no family, what does that make you happy? What so and if you are billionaire, you already have all the millions in the world, and then you want power of that to believe yourself better than others. When at the end of the day there are people, to be honest, for me, if I'm in front of someone that wants me to kneel in front of them, and this person is making me harm, I'm not gonna kneel in front of a person. I will kneel just in front of God, and I don't care if it's at my own life expense. I don't care. As they say, I prefer to die on my feet than on my knees. Yeah, it is, Hassan. Hassan Casimiro. It is in lockdown. The US has 12 aircraft carriers. Trust me, if there was a real war on drugs, it would be over in like 3 hours or so, depending on weather conditions. Yeah. And believe me, the troops of Venezuela are totally weakened. Weakened. They are not, there is no food, there is no nothing. They are getting sick as well. And the worst part is like there they get sick and there are no hospitals with water. There is no power. Sometimes they take the water 1 week. Imagine that you are living in your house and then you pay your bills, but still you don't get potable water for 1 week. Or even if you have it, then they cut it all day and they just let you 2 hours of potable water. Well, semi-potable because you cannot drink it. You just can get shower, but you have to. There are no even good filters, nothing. You have to boil the water, let it cool down. And sometimes this water, when it comes back, the water for those 2 hours, sometimes the water is brownish color because it has dirt in it. What is potable? Potable is the water that is drinkable. Potable is water that you can drink. So, for example, the water bottles water, you drink it, so it's a potable water. It's like water safe to drink. Mm-hmm. All right, people. It's time for me to go. I will sleep because I have to do a lot of things tomorrow. Very intelligent woman. Oh, thank you. Very intelligent man I'm talking to right now. All of you, thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing with me. If it weren't by you, then this challenge wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be getting online. Then the word could not come across. Oh my God. Coronavirus. Good night. We thank you. And stay safe. Okay? Larry McDance. No, thanks to you. Okay, bye.